Greetings, everybody. Keith here. I'll be right back.
Honey, when you're in the kitchen, will you get the ice pack for me?
It's on the bed. It's on the bed. Okay. And we have an issue with the post office. And I'm going to show you how to handle these guys. Because some of you know I have a nice way of just shoving things back down their throats sometimes. So I have no qualms at all with writing right on the envelope and sending things back. So I'm going to show you where we're at here. Turn my camera around. This is a post I made just this week. A week and a half ago, I guess, on the 7th of October. And this is what I wrote on it. This here is the envelope that I sent back. I kept one. They sent me two. And I kept one. And then I sent this one back. And then I wrote what I put on the envelope right here. Attention, Postmaster for Waterloo, Iowa, a.k.a. Darren Green. Unlawful use of congressional franking privilege. Cause of wrong resulting in harm by error or omission. Please return for cause. Prejudice. This address below and in the window belongs here on the envelope. Okay? That's a blatant determination. So what I did was I wrote on the envelope on one of them and I sent that back. And then I kept one. They sent it back. Now that congressional franking privilege has a postmaster stamp on it, showing that I sent it out. You can see on there, that was not stamped before. And now it's been stamped after I sent it back with a notice. This is a notice to the postmaster letting him know. That's valid notice, folks. That is valid notice. So, under the letter post, Article RE 107, marking of items sent free of postal charges in reference to the franking privilege that they use on these envelopes. This is the convention, Article 8. Items exempt from postal charges shall bear on the address side in the top right-hand corner the following indications, which may be followed by a translation. Service to post, postal service, or a similar indication for the items mentioned in Article 8.2 of the convention. That particular article is the franking privilege that they extend to Congress, so they can just use a regular ink stamp, whether it be red ink or black ink. Red ink is your federal, black ink is your state. We go down here to the Postal, Article 9, Postal Security, and it distinctly says, Postal Administrations, okay, realize this is an administrative process they're using, service of process of an administrative service, shall adopt and implement. That term implement is a specific term under the Federal Acquisitions Regulations, wherein contract terms and conditions are required to implement executive orders and statutes commercial items and goods or services. A proactive security strategy at all levels of postal operations. So at all levels, we're going above the administration now to the execution and the judicial. As a post office, it is in fact a neutral and independent office, the judicial office, to maintain and enhance customer confidence in the postal services in order to ensure a competitive edge in the market. So, by this dumbass sending this back, even though I gave him fair warning, the address below in this envelope or inside through this window is not valid for an address that's required to be on the envelope. Okay? Very succinct. If this guy is one of the guys that's posing as one of the neutral officers in the judicial office, then he does not qualify. He has failed on the face by turning around and stamping it and sending it back. This is evidence on the face either of fraud or his incompetence and serious need of further education. This is number 10 out of 81. Let's go back. Because this is the Universal Postal Union, published by Universal Postal Union. They have the copyright on this. Remember I talked about that copyright. Bern, Switzerland. Okay, Treaty of Bern to protect literary and artistic works. There's a very tight setup here. ISBN 978-9296, 95025-424. Addressing and postcode manual. Addressing and postcode manual. Addressing standards are essential for establishing the rules and elements for formatting address and describing the elements needed for building postal address databases while facilitating mail delivery. So the address is part of the postal system database, and I'm telling them it's in error, and they're trying to send it back to me and tell me I'm wrong. Okay? This is their record-keeping system, and they're trying to tell me I'm in error when the address is not on the envelope. Very succinct language. The law is specific. Language is specific. The following information should assist postal administration and operators when preparing national standards concerning the definitions of types of addresses and their structural components. The structural component of the address supposed on the invoice inside of the document or inside the envelope as part of the cargo, a document, is all uppercase. That's known as an agent. It is evidence on the face of the record that Joyce A. Schmidt is retired. She is no longer party to the service of process, regardless of it's in the envelope or on the envelope. So now we have a clarification of one of the structural components, which is a fictional entity that isn't even organized under the laws of the United States, and they still pose that it does. So they're pushing this as a collection, operating as a collections agent, trying to say we have to accept this under this. I find this a serious need for re-education. Standards, the presentation of address on postal items. The presentation. Now, this is one thing that I speak of. There's a 3-line presentation where you have a name of the agent. You have a number and the street name of the thing securitized. It's known as a street name security, and it is a post office trademark representation of value known as the address under a real estate investment trust. That's their interest in the presentation of addresses on postal items. They need to know whether you're part of the contract or not. A 4-line address tells them it's a foreign address. Standard abbreviations. I keep telling people all the time, when they start seeing envelopes that no longer use abbreviations and they're using the Republic of Iowa and this and that, they pay attention. It is succinct. The electronic exchange and validation of address data. Electronic exchange and validation of address data. This is your electronic record. Okay? It has to be accurate. And again, like I said, Joyce, as she was known before, is retired, no longer party to the service, and we've let them know that this is an error and they need to do something about it. Instead of listening to the error, they tried to continue on as if though the service is validated. It's an impossibility. Impossibility. The mechanized sorting of postal items addressing standards should contain the information needed for processing addresses, including the information needed to identify the nature or the natural or legal person for whom the item is intended. That's the first thing they tell you why they are doing this. They need to know the natural or legal capacity. Okay? So when they get a response like this from the natural man, and they keep pushing the legal man, we're going to teach Darren Greer, the postmaster, how to read and write all over again, even if it takes him losing his job. He is either committing fraud on the face of this document or is in serious need of further education. Surname and first name, and optionally their title. First name and surname, and optionally their title. Is that all uppercase? Did they give their first name or surname? Does this qualify for an address? I beg anybody to rebut it. There is no proper surname and first name. There is only an optional title. Failure right in the very beginning. I don't know about you guys, but I'm certainly getting sick of the stupidity. So now, and we've got another one. Somebody else decided to try the same thing, only there's no name or anything up there. They ran it through upside down. See, the number and everything is upside down, but there's no name where it's supposed to be. See, this is literally supposed to be where the name's supposed to be at. Okay? And then they can put some optional information in here, but the address has to have that surname and first name, and then optionally a title. Company name or official abbreviation, corporate or establishment name, department section, etc. if necessary. Role descriptors such as attention for the attention of and CO for care of. Delivery instructions. This doesn't have any of that. None. It's got this on the cargo inside of the envelope with no address on the envelope anywhere. Not where it's coming or where it's going. And they used a franking privilege, a congressional franking privilege on the state level to do a collections. And the post office is complicit in it. So let's talk about the post office. The post offices are inland marine installations. Now, the insurance, consequently, runs marine insurance from the Navy. Inland marine insurance for the inland marine installations. And then in each of those states, all of the other insurances. And you're all involved in it. Why do you need insurance? All you need is the truth. I don't need a stamp to send it back. And in fact, now I can take some nice little pictures and give them an electronic electronic female, because that's what they are. Electronic record is the electronic female. It's just another place of whoredom. Now, I can make up my own electronic communication and send them electronically. I don't have to worry about any more of their wasteful paperwork. I can keep it as evidence, take pictures, and then hand it off to a third party in escrow to hold it as evidence while I hold the electronic record with the pictures and communicate with them their fucking stupidity. And in that electronic record, I can go straight to the top. I can go to the Director General of the International Bureau of the Universal Postal Union, say, hey, this guy's violating this, and this, all the way down through the line. Put your bitch in line. See, that's the ignorance when these postmaster, I love it when these First Amendment auditors go out to these post offices, and you know the dumbasses, they carry federal secret security clearance, and they're calling a police officer. This is the nation that leads you. Why would you give them any credit? You can't give them credit unless they know what they're doing. And these guys obviously don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I showed you through their internal documents. That's a universal postal union, and that's an internal document, no matter whether they want to play the game of, well, they're just a state postmaster or the United States. No, that's an internal document. You don't follow the federal code. You don't follow the state statutes. You follow the Constitution of the Universal Postal Union. So why are you calling the local police? That's just fucking stupidity. So anyway, I'm going to go get my shoulder and back on ice. I just want to do that real quick because I think that's pertinent to get this kind of word out to show them how you defeat them. Like again, very simply, I just put it one attempt of fraud on the face, and they sent it back. Now I can present that to the Director General of the International Bureau and ask him, how is this a valid mailing? And I can point out 5 elements that prove evidence of possible attempt at fraud. And then they turned around and sent it back, even though I gave them notice. Fucking dumbasses. Have a good day.